On NewsWatch Ole Miss, a Mississippi man is charged with capital murder after a mass shooting.
And the U.S. military awarded a $17 million contract to a business in Starkville.
I hope you've enjoyed the warmer weather and temperatures today. We're sitting at 78 degrees right now with some storms rolling in this evening. Keep watching to hear what to expect tonight in weather. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Good evening and welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Kennedy Cooper.
And I'm Cameron Hass. One man is dead after a shooting this morning at the Yokohama plant in West Point. Clay County coroner identified the man as the 28-year-old Jarvis Gray of Starkville. And the current person of interest in the case is 41-year-old Ole Willie Swain Jr., who is still on the run. Clay County Sheriff Eddie Scott is asking that Swain turn himself in immediately. And a Mississippi mass shooter has been charged with capital murder. Police say 52-year-old Richard Dale Crum went on a deadly shooting rampage Friday last week, killing 6 people, including his ex-wife and a stepfather in northern Mississippi. Crum was arrested hours after carrying out the shootings at multiple locations in Tate County. Crum's initial appearance was held at the Tate County Jail Monday because of security concerns connected with the case. The judge ordered Crum to be held without bond and set his preliminary hearing for tomorrow morning at the Tate County Justice Court.
The U.S. military awarded a multi-million-dollar contract to a Starkville company. The military awarded Campaign Corporation $17 million to build high-tech equipment for the Army. The company builds software systems enabled by artificial intelligence to help businesses speed up operations. CEO Guru Butler said the contracts will push to help soldiers think and act faster by improving situational awareness. The annual Black History Month concert was back in action at the Gertrude C. Ford Center. The concert featured a variety of special performances. NewsWatch reporter Aiden Colorado has more on the concert.
Tuesday, February 21st, the Gertrude C. Ford Center hosted the annual 2023 Black History Month concert. The concert featured performances from Tanisha Ward, Amanda Johnston, the Ole Miss Gospel Choir, Men's Glee, the Lou Symphony Orchestra, and the Ole Miss African Drum and Dance Ensemble.
This concert represents unity, especially at a time and stage and place. Injustices.
There were many people in attendance that wanted to learn more about the different dances and culture.
So far I've liked the dancing because as a dancer it was something really different from what I've done personally, and it made me respect different styles of dance more.
I really like the appreciation of the culture and how it effectively celebrated 6 years of integration.
This year was more noteworthy because it celebrated James Meredith and 60 years of integration at the University of Mississippi. Of course, the month of February is when we honor Black history, and the celebration of James Meredith and 60 years of integration here at the Ford Center added a little extra emotion to the annual concert. Reporting from Oxford, this is Aiden Gallardo, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
For more information about upcoming events happening at the Ford Center, you can visit www.fordcenter.org/events.
The university has seen a rise in emotional support and service animals on campus. With much controversy on whether these animals should be allowed to enter airlines and restaurants and other public spaces, the university seems to have embraced this new development. NewsWatch reporter Katie Simmons explains more.
Growth of mental health issues such as anxiety and depression, many students on campus are looking to their animals for help.
I really don't know what my life would be like. It'd be way worse than this, I can tell you that.
Reagan Van Hooser is able to live her life and attend classes with the help of her service dog, Winston.
I originally got Winston as an ESA dog because I had developed severe PTSD after some things that happened last semester, but I had always knew that eventually he would be service dog trained.
Reagan developed PTSD after the suicide of her boyfriend in February of last year and diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a connective tissue disorder, soon after. Reagan says the only way that she was able to cope with these events was because of Winston.
He is amazing. He just makes me happy anywhere we go.
Student Disability says they have seen a rise in students registering emotional support animals, especially freshmen who are wishing to have a furry friend in their dorms. Though Winston is still in training to be a service dog, he has many tasks that help Reagan on a daily basis.
Able to detect a tachycardia episode so he can let me know before I know, so I won't be able to pass out. And then also he learns deep compression therapy for if I'm having a PTSD episode, he will come lay on me.
This year, there are over 500,000 registered service animals in the U.S., and though there is no exact count for ESA animals, the number should be much more than that and will be expected to grow in the coming years. I'm Katie Simmons, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Fun fact, Winston, the service dog's favorite activity is to attend Swayze Stadium for baseball games with his owner. So let's hope he's in for a good season. I really think he will be in for a good season, it looks like.
Yeah, I always found service dogs very interesting. They're just so smart.
Yes. And next on NewsWatch, the devastating aftermath of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria continues.
In Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves vowed to sign a bill that bans transgender care for minors. This and more coming up.
Does it ever seem like some people are actually trying to destroy the planet? And the rest of us are like, hey, we need this planet. Some people may be slow to learn, but they'll eventually get the message.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When you have a hole in your neck, don't face the shower head.
Suction out your tube before you eat. Crouch. Don't bend over. You don't want to lose the food in your stomach. Don't use spray paint.
Be very careful shaving.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Legacy isn't just about where you're from, it's about where you're going. So where are you going?
I'm going to be the first in my family to graduate.
I'm going to make a difference.
Just like my granddad.
I'm going to make the bestseller list.
And I'm going to help him get there.
I'm going to win a championship.
Again! I'm going to lock the vault! Hotty toddy!
I'm going to take the next step.
I'm going to bring them to their feet.
I'm going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Build your legacy.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. After the devastating earthquake in Turkey 2 weeks ago and the powerful aftershock on Monday, over 40,000 people were killed and the city destroyed and reduced to rubble. Some survivors claim the disaster was just as much from human failings as it was from nature. Some say that for that many buildings to collapse so easily, they were not built to meet earthquake standards. The president faces pressure to explain this, but his spokesperson says they are working now to prevent future failings.
Importantly, we will be building earthquake-resistant buildings. And our president has said that we're not going to make any discrimination between, say, lightly damaged or damaged buildings. They will all be demolished. They will all be rebuilt, again, regardless of the degree of the damage. That, of course, requires work. We are planning to build the first 200,000 new earthquake-resistant houses over the next year. The work has already begun. The next couple of weeks, we'll be seeing.
Leaders and members of the Mississippi State Conference NAACP climbed the state capitol's steps yesterday afternoon in an effort to make their voices heard of the latest state legislation regarding House Bill 1020. Kill the bill became the catchphrase of the day following speeches given by the MSC NAACP leaders. House Bill 1020, which will allow special judges to be appointed for the Capitol Complex Improvement District, was the main point of discussion. And other points such as Senate Bill 2889, Medicare and Medicaid, education and crime were addressed as well. Many people at the Capitol called for a different approach to both of the aforementioned bills. The House of Representatives passed the bill on February 7th. It's been referred to 2 Senate committees, but neither of those have taken action yet.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves confirmed yesterday that he plans to sign a bill to ban gender-affirming care in the state for anyone younger than 18. House Bill 1125 won final approval yesterday in the Mississippi Senate, and it will be sent to Reeves in the coming days. Reeves wrote on Twitter that sterilizing and castrating children in the name of new gender ideology is wrong. However, protesters of this bill say patients, along with their health care providers, not politicians, should decide what medical care is in the best interest of a patient.
In one last bit of news and legislation, the Mississippi House passed a bill yesterday to expand tax credits for women and families. This is after a law that banned most abortions went into effect last year. The legislation is called the Pregnancy Resource Act. The bill will now head to the state Senate for further consideration. The proposal will also include creating a child care expense tax credit for individuals or married couples earning $50,000 or less, doubling the expense tax credit for families seeking to adopt from a maximum of $5,000 to $10,000 and more.
The link between physical activity and health is well established, but new research shows it's never too late to get active, and there's no such thing as too little activity compared to inactivity. Scientists tracked nearly 1,500 people over 30 years and discovered any physical activity improved cognitive ability. Those who were active over their lifetime showed the best cognitive health. The participants who didn't start getting active until their 50s or 60s still improved their cognitive scores at 70 years old. Even those who were only active once a month showed better scores than inactive people. Researchers suggest walking outside and yoga as easy ways to get in some physical activity. The study was established in the Journal of Neurology and Psychiatry. In local developments, rent prices in Oxford have made a tremendous increase over the past few months and are set to increase even more in August. NewsWatch reporter DeLaken Crawford has more on the story.
Increase in rent prices for student apartments worth it? Students and residents of Oxford have raised many concerns that the prices are getting out of hand. Noah LeCastro, a resident at the Domain at Oxford, says 3 years ago, he was paying $419 and now is paying over $500. LeCastro also believes that inflation is the cause of the drastic increase, but also feels that the properties are being greedy and are not considering them when increasing prices.
At what point is enough enough?
Some feel that it has come to a point where they will have to make sacrifices, whether that is finding a cheaper apartment or having to get a second job.
Putting me out because, gotta eat,
There are students that are angry at the price increase. Some seem to not be fazed.
Right now I am on scholarship, so all I really gotta do is keep my scholarship for them to pay my rent.
Everyone is not able to have scholarship benefits, which is why the increase may seem unfair due to students having to pay thousands for college, and that is not including their personal needs.
I think it's a little dumb.
I hope that change will come soon, and the price increases will come to an end.
Due to inflation, rent prices are on a constant rise, and it has been an inconvenience for students and residents of Oxford. I am DeLaken Crawford, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
If interested in learning what can be done to stop the increase in prices, reach out to the apartment's leasing offices for additional information. And now let's hear from Mackenzie Cox with your latest weather updates.
Current temperature of 66 degrees is creating some instability that's leading to thunderstorms tonight. We have gusty winds coming in 10 to 20 miles per hour, but stay tuned to learn how this is all going to roll out tonight.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Two flashlights.
What's up, champ? Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, Rebels. Let's take a look at our current conditions. We have a current temperature of 78 degrees, and I hope you got a chance to enjoy that nice weather outside today because it certainly is not as nice right now. We have some scattered storms coming in throughout the evening, and we're currently under a wind advisory. We expect that to expire at 6 p.m. There you go. Taking a look out at northern Mississippi, we should see that most of the region will be sharing in these elevated temperatures that you may have noticed today. It's really humid, really dense air outside, and that's contributing to the instability for this evening. So we're ranging from 75 to 80 degrees all across northern Mississippi today. Let's see. And then looking at tonight's forecast, we're dropping down a little bit, but still that elevated temperature that's going to be leading into thunderstorms, and we'll take a look at that timing in a minute, but we have a 40% chance of precipitation, and the winds are coming in from the west-southwest. Notice that shift from earlier at 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts potentially much higher. So here, let's take a look at this map from the National Weather Service in Memphis. We are in a level 1 risk, so marginal risk of isolated or severe storms this evening, and the timing is going to be from 3 to 9 p.m., although some sources are saying 10 p.m., so it's important to stay weather aware. Looking at our threat levels, gusts of up to 70 miles per hour or higher this evening, and then also some localized flooding. We will see some heavy rainfall, so those are the main things that you're going to want to look out for this evening. Tomorrow's forecast, good news, it will be turning around. It should shape up to be a really nice day. 79 degrees for the high and partly sunny with limited cloud coverage, lower chances of precipitation, and all of the region will be sharing in this good fortune as we look at the rest of northern Mississippi. We'll see a range from 76 to 85, so a lot more variables than we're used to, but still it should be a nice day with low cloud coverage and generally just a good outlook. But we will have to remind ourselves with these temperatures that it's still February. And so even though we're seeing highs of 85 and upper 70s in our area, this is certainly not normal, and it's not a one-day activity either. The average high per day in Oxford in February is 52 degrees, and all of our highs are going to exceed that this week, and mostly even our lows. And speaking of this week, let's take a look out and look at our 5-day forecast. You can see we have some rain and cloud coverage moving in this week and this weekend.
But as for the temperatures, we should be in a pretty good spot. See, I still don't think it's going to be the best for some outdoor activities as we have that rain and cloud coverage, though.
Yeah, I do indeed. I hate the rain. Do you guys like the rain?
Not quite. I like the sun.
I think this weekend some baseball games are coming up. Skylar, what does that mean for sports?
Well, coming up in sports, the baseball team got it done versus Arkansas State yesterday, and the women's basketball team is preparing to honor their 4 seniors. I'll have that up next in sports.
Creating a legacy takes time, takes dedication, spirit, and a greater vision. That vision starts at the University of Mississippi. What will you be remembered by? Your character, your contributions, your friendship. Your legacy will define who we are now and who we are becoming for our state, our students, and our future. Ole Miss, build your legacy.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Welcome. Ole Miss successfully began the midweek portion of its 2023 season with 11-3 victory against Arkansas State on Tuesday night at home. Ole Miss answered with 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Quinn was more effective in the second with a 3-up, 3-down inning. The bottom of the fourth turned out to be another highly productive one for the Rebels. One Ole Miss Rebel then had 3 runs in its portion of the 5th inning, which made the score 11-3. Ole Miss had 12 hits, while ASU had 6 hits in the game. The Rebels will host Maryland on the Big Ten Conference this weekend for 3 games. The first one will be on Friday at 4 p.m. The Ole Miss women's basketball team last home game will be on Thursday at 6 p.m. The team will be honoring the seniors Angel Baker, Jordan Berry, Ty Singleton, and Maya Taylor. Mizzou had held an advantage over Ole Miss all time last season until they beat them in Columbia. The Rebels have yet to beat Mizzou at home in SEC play. You can watch them in a game Thursday 6 p.m. on ESPN+. And Ole Miss women's basketball coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen is no stranger to being a spectacle. NewsWatch sports reporter Joseph Rogers caught up with Coach Yo following practice this afternoon.
When Yolette McPhee-McEwen became the first black female head coach in Ole Miss women's basketball history, she wasn't new to breaking ground. She was the first Bahamian woman to sign a letter of intent to play Division I basketball. Later, she became the first to coach D1 when she took over at Jacksonville University.
Well, I mean, it's a great amount of pride when it comes to being the first. At the same time, it's hope, because I hope to not be the last. Just creating paths for people that look like me, and that's just not black people. That's women, minorities. That's anybody that has a dollar in a dream. That's my life story. You know, I got a dollar in a dream. I can't no miss on that.
Now in her 5th season, Coach Yo continues to break boundaries. Most recently, her Lady Rebels played in front of a record crowd when they faced the #1 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks.
We built this with our bare hands. So when we came, we literally had nothing. I said, one day I'm gonna sell out the lower bowl, and we did that. If you could see it, you could achieve it, and if you could think of it, you can do it.
There are countless words that can be used to describe Coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen. Energetic, loyal, and determined are just a few of the labels given to her by both staff members and players.
That chip on her shoulder, it carries on to the court, so that's one of the things that, she feels like she can beat anybody. She got something to prove no matter what it is.
Above all else, Coach Yo is a trailblazer with a chip on her shoulder who won't stop until the job is done. From the pavilion, I'm Joseph Rogers, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
The Ole Miss women's basketball team returns to the hardwood tomorrow night at 6 to take on the Missouri Tigers. In keeping things on the court, junior forward Madison Scott was named 2023 SEC Community Service Team, announced on Wednesday for the first time in her career. Scott partnered with Ashley Home Store's Hope to Dream event in providing 50 beds in Tunica, Quitman, and Lafayette counties. She also assisted with local morning carpools in local elementary schools around the area. She also worked with Reading with the Rebels and visiting local elementary schools in the Lafayette and Oxford area, as well as other things. On the court, she had shined in her third year with the Rebels, averaging 11.3 points per game and leads in the team in rebounding. The Ole Miss men's distance medley relay has been named the SEC Men's Runner of the Week, which was announced Tuesday afternoon. The Rebel quartet of Baylor, Franklin, Cade Flatt, Terrian Corkin, and Anthony Cameri finished 6th overall at the Notre Dame's Alex Wilson Invitational in one of the fastest instant melodies relay races in NCAA history this week. This puts Ole Miss as number 8 in the NCAA and strong contention to qualify for the indoor national meet in 2 weeks. Ole Miss will head back to Arkansas this weekend for the 2023 SEC Indoor Championship, which are slated to run February 24th through 25th. That's all I've got for sports. Be sure to tune into Rebel_Watch on Friday at 5 for the latest Ole Miss sports and beyond. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Skylar. Coming up, are you a big Starbucks drinker?
I know I am, but stay tuned because they're adding a new ingredient to some of their drinks, and it's an interesting one. More ahead on NewsWatch.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I needed for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Welcome back. Starbucks is adding an unexpected ingredient to its newest cup of joe, olive oil.
Yes, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
The coffee chain is introducing a new line of drinks made with a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil. The new line includes the Olito Latte, the Olito Ice Shaken Espresso, and the Olito Golden Foam Cold Brew. The latte has in it oat milk and olive oil, while the espresso takes those two ingredients and add a hazelnut flavor. Finally, the cold brew features a sweet milk foam infused with 2 olive oil servings. Starbucks will make the new beverages available as its cafes in Italy this week.
And versions will then hit Southern California this spring. Starbucks says the drink will eventually go global sometime this year. So we might be seeing them on some of our campus Starbucks.
That's all for tonight. For NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Cameron Hass.
And I'm Kennedy Cooper. Be sure to keep up with us on social media, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 5.
Thank you and good night.